By the end of this lesson, you'll be able to say what 3 to the negative fourth power is the same as. In order to get us to that spot, we're going to talk about powers of 10 a little bit here. 10 to the fourth power would be 10 multiplied 4 times. There should be one with 4 zeros behind it. That's really what I want to get to, and we'll make it really quick for the rest of these. 10 to the third would be 1 with 3 zeros, because the exponent tells you how many zeros to put behind it. That's what I wanted to get at. 10 to the second, 1 with 2 zeros. 10 to the first, a 1 with 1 zero. 10 to the 0, a 1 with no zeros behind it. So make a prediction about 10 to the negative first power. But here, forget about how I'm writing a 1 with zeros. Just look at what's happening as you go from 10,000 to 1,000, and 1,000 to 100, and 100 to 10, and 10 to 1. What's the rule to go from one to the other? So you probably have that. Since we can't really dialogue, I'll just make sure we've got it on the same page. The number below is always 10 times smaller. So 10 is 10 times smaller than 100. 1 is 10 times smaller than 10. So what is 10 times smaller than 1? That would be 1/10. And 10 to the negative second would be 1 over 100. 10 to the negative third, 1 over a 1 with 3 zeros. So this is just an example of how a pattern can help you see it, what's happening. So this is how it works with powers of 10. And maybe you've gotten to the point where you already know what this would be. But we'll take a look at more reasoning in the next slides. A negative exponent represents the reciprocal of a number. Just remember that the reciprocal of A over B is B over A. The reciprocal of 9 over 1, we might say, is 1/9. Take a look at this pattern with 3's. 3 to the second is 9, 3 to the first is 3, 3 to the 0 power is 1. And you see how it's getting smaller by, you can go from here to here by dividing by 3. So 3 divided by 3 is 1. 1 divided by 3 is 1/3. And 1/3 divided by 3 is 1/9. I should make that to the negative second power. So what this tells us is, going back to our example, 3 to the negative fourth would be the same as 1 over 3 to the positive 4, which would turn out to be 1 over 81. So if you have, let me see, if you have x to the negative n, you can make that 1 over x to the positive n power. That would be the rule that a negative exponent represents the reciprocal of a number. This is a pretty short slide. A number to the 0 power is 1. So if you have 7 to the 0 power, that's 1. 9 to the 0 power, that's 1. Any number to the 0 power is 1. You could go back to the first slide and see where we had 10 to the 0 power and follow the pattern. It was 1. Or where we had 3 to the 0 power in the second slide, that's 1. Any number to the 0 power is 1. A couple of quick examples to kind of tie it together. B to the 0 power, what's that worth? And you might say, I don't know what B is, so I can't really evaluate this. Well, you can, because any number to the 0 power is 1. Negative 3 to the second power would be negative 3 times negative 3. When you multiply two negatives, you get a positive. That's 9. Negative 3 to the negative second power, you want to rewrite this as 1 over negative 3 to the positive second power, positive to the second power squared. By the way, I don't know if I've mentioned that in any of the videos so far. If you have something to the second power, you can read it as 2 to the second power or squared. So we come back to this. This would be, we've already done negative 3 to the second power, and we know that's 9. You know what? I should put that in parentheses. That does make a difference. So it's 1 over 9. Let me come back to that in a second. I'll tell you why. Then 4 to the negative 3, or 4 to the negative third power times 4 to the 10th power would be 4 to the negative 3 plus 10, which is 4 to the 7th. Okay, back to this. I didn't really intend to get in this, but I kind of inadvertently wrote up something like this. This would be read as the opposite of 3 squared. which would be evaluated as the opposite. Let me erase that. It equals the opposite of 3 squared. So that would be negative 9. So this is kind of tricky. That's why I wanted to rewrite this over here and put the negative 3 in parentheses. So now I would know that means negative 3 times negative 3, and that would be 9. Without the parentheses, it's the opposite of 3 to the second power.